What is up, everybody? My name is SimpleSimsie here, also known as True, and today I'm building for you guys the famous Gallagher House in Chicago, Illinois from the TV show Shameless. I don't know about you guys, but I've definitely been getting in like this urge of rewatching the series. I've probably watched it 5 times total. I am now once again on the 4th season, so I've just been binge watching that as much as I can. The original plan for this build, I really wanted to make it sort of like a for rent, kind of go with the for rent pack, and have 3 houses on the lot. So you can probably guess it was going to be the Gallagher House, Stimmy, if I can talk, Jimmy Steve's house, which is later on Tony's house, and Kevin V's house. But after building the Gallagher house alone, that was 20 hours, you guys. Oh my gosh, over 20 hours actually. I do work full time, so a lot of this is done on like my free time, but I'm also planning a wedding, so you know, there's not a lot of time on my free time, as you could guess, with me being able to build as much. I'd like to get more into it, but right now is just not a great time, but I could not resist. I had to build this for you guys. It is not perfect. The sizing or the scale of The Sims 4 obviously does not match up with, you know, reality. So I did try my best. I did add a little few Easter eggs throughout the build, which you'll see if you can see them or point them out. You're an OG, you're a real one, and if you've seen Shameless, you know, you'll definitely be able to point some things out. There are a few parts of this build that I actually do cut out. For instance, like the landscaping outside and some of the furniture and decorations outside. I did cut a lot of that out only because the actual recording of that unfortunately was so laggy, and I just did not think you guys wanted to see that. I know I didn't want to see it. It was horrible for me to try to watch back and make it work. Did try to see if I could fix the footage, but it just was not the best. I mean, even right now it's a little laggy in my opinion, but it works enough. But yeah, I enjoyed building this house. I think I want to do more grungy style homes. I love the realistic homes in Sims, especially like realistic apartments where they're like run down and gross. Like, I don't know. I just have a fascination with it. I like realism in The Sims, and you don't see a lot of that, unfortunately, because it is, again, The Sims, and realistic things are not always plausible or not always possible in The Sims. So I do try my best though. So there's not like a specific time period I think that I'm doing this build. It's not like a season 1 Shameless or season 5 Shameless or whatever. You'll kind of notice that I do kind of add in different aspects from the different seasons. So for instance, like Fiona's room is not her original room from season 1. It's actually Frank and Monica's room, which she later switches over. And the outside, you can see like all the tents and stuff. That's from, I believe, season 7 or 8, maybe 9 or 10. I think it's 8 or 9 actually. Ian kind of was like the gay Jesus or whatever, and they were all sleeping outside protesting and whatnot. And then the pool, they've always had a pool, at least in season 2 I believe, but this pool is more realistic with a later pool that they had in the seasons. RV they didn't always have. They did always have that red van, which I believe was like a VW in the show, but you know, that's the closest I could get. So there are a few things that do add up. Soon here I'm going to be adding some more references, especially in the backyard with Aunt Ginger's grave. Some things that are just kind of from random seasons. Like for instance, the living room itself I do base on the first season of Shameless. You'll see it has like the fish tank and stuff like that. They don't have that throughout the show. So that was definitely a little choice I had. I didn't want to stay prohibited to one season, especially because finding references for, you know, those rooms or those areas, you don't always see certain areas a lot during certain seasons. So I wanted to try to have free reign. Overall, I think it did turn out very well. Again, I don't know, I love this show, so I was very proud of the build. Right now we're working on the downstairs, starting to semi-furnish it. The living room was the first room I worked on, and it's probably by far my favorite room. That or the kitchen, honestly. They're very accurate to the show in my opinion, and I just am obsessed with it. Now, making the little nook downstairs in the living room was very difficult. If you remember in the show, there's a little nook underneath the stairs. Making that in The Sims was not realistic. So I kind of just made like a pretend one. You know, I had a little curtain, supposedly try to showcase, you know, oh, you can close the curtain and you can hide everything, but that's not the case here. I do try to stay as close as I can to the show. It is not perfect by any means, but I am honestly a little obsessed with it. I think I'm gonna try to recreate the entire Gallagher family now, and have them live in it. I don't have them yet, but this post is available on my gallery, which I'll link down below. It's just SimpleSimsie, so you can definitely download it from there. There is no custom content. I am not a custom content creator. Don't get me wrong, I love custom content, but I just hate the upkeep of it. And so I've only had it a few different times and it was just never for me. So everything you're seeing, unfortunately, it is not pack limited, but it is things that are offered by EA. It's certain packs, you know. I don't even want to know how many packs I've used in this build to make it more realistic. I think I'll probably try to do a pack limited build here shortly, but right now for this build that just was not possible for the things that I needed. But it is available on my gallery, which again I will link down below for you guys. But yeah, you will never see me using custom content. It is just not my thing. Again, the upkeep is so tiring, and anytime there's an update, you know, it can crash, and it's not for me personally. I think CC is very cool and you know, very entertaining, especially depending on what you can get, like the tool mod and stuff like that. That's like the only custom content I use is the tool mod or the better build vibe mode. Those are the only CC contents that I use, and honestly recently the better build vibe mode I had to delete from my computer because it was not wanting to work. I don't know what I did. I don't think I deleted it when there was an update, and it just caused it to not work whatsoever. Every time when I would pull up the game, the hidden objects would show, and it was just horrible trying to find certain items because it was not allowing me to filter them out, and it was just horrible. But yeah. We should be heading towards the kitchen area, which again, I would say the living room and the kitchen are my favorite part of the build, just because of how close they are. They're not perfect. Again, the kitchen, technically there's a counter space where they have chairs, but again, it's a Sims, so scaling is not always perfect. So I did do my best with that, but it is probably one of my favorite rooms. Everything is playable in the kitchen, in the dining room. I think the only chair that's not playable, you might be able to access it from the other side, is the back chair by the water heater. That is the only thing that I think doesn't work in the kitchen, but everything else works in this build. All the beds, all the bathrooms, etc., counter spaces, all that fun stuff. All of that works, all of that's playable. There's also some things in the kitchen that I do cut out, again due to like laggy footage. You will see eventually at the end I do add in a little sort of laundry chute. It's not really a laundry chute, obviously we don't have that in The Sims 4. I think it's actually a garbage pan or garbage disposal bin from City Living that just goes onto the wall. So I add that downstairs and upstairs, so you technically can see the laundry chute, but again, it's not perfect, it's The Sims. But I did do this build as best as I could, and I hope you guys enjoy. And any of my Shameless lovers, I hope you guys can appreciate this build as much as I have. I'm probably going to get off voice recording now, just so you can guys watch the rest of the build. If you have any questions, just drop them down in the comments below. I'll try to upload some more content here soon, and I'll make sure I do some more limited pack builds as well, because this one is definitely a little crazy. I think I've probably used every pack in this game, to be honest, on this build. It's pretty crazy. but I really wanted it to look as accurate as I could to the Shameless house. Like it was crazy. But if you guys enjoy this video and enjoy this build, please leave a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as there will be more content here later out. And I will see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of the video. Bye guys.